Israel has one of the highest COVID vaccination rates in the world, with 78% of people double jabbed.
But now the country is facing a fourth wave, with infections more than doubling in the past fortnight. So what can Australia learn from Israel? We're joined now by Dr. Ben Rice, who is working in Israel. Doctor, thank you so much for your time this morning. I think we've held Israel up as the poster country in how to deal with vaccinations. But does this mean that the vaccine aren't as effective as we'd hoped?
That's a great question, and good morning. Thank you for having me. There are two challenges right now to the vaccine wall that Israel has built up quite early. One of the earliest places in the world to be so heavily vaccinated was Israel. But almost because it was so early, it's now been a few months. Some people got their first shot as early as December 2020, which means that now it's been 8 months since their first shot, 7 months since their second shot. And there's an issue of waning immunity, that the more time that goes by since your shots, the number of antibodies goes down, that your immunity goes down. The second challenge to Israel's vaccine wall is the Delta variant. As we all know, the Delta variant is quite an effective variant from the virus's perspective. It's very infectious. It can get through many of the defenses that we've seen other variants of the virus not get through. And so when you combine the Delta variant's extra infectiousness and the waning immunity due to all the months that have passed by, you're starting to see a lot of infections in Israel.
Okay.
What are known as breakthrough infections.
So just on that, I think some of these statistics out of Israel are being used by those who don't like vaccinations as a reason for not getting vaccinated, because they're saying, look, it's not working. What is happening? How many cases are you getting through the course of any given day, and deaths now, despite the high vaccination rates?
So that's a great question, and I think here there's a very clear answer. We're seeing about 10,000 cases a day. I'm going to use some round numbers here, which is about what we saw in the third wave. We're now in the fourth wave. So the third wave was the British variant, now known as the Alpha variant, back in January. And we were seeing about 10,000 cases a day there. But now the amount of deaths we're seeing and the amount of severely ill individuals is about half of what we were seeing back then. So the vaccines do have a very, very important effect insofar as you may get infected, you may even get a bit sick, but they're going to limit the amount of people getting severely ill or, God forbid, dying.
Okay, I mean, that's very interesting when you say, because Israel has a population of 8 million, which is about the same size as New South Wales. So you're talking about 10,000 cases a day. What's happening with children?